Sup my dudes, Valkyrja. I want to, before I get into anything with today's video is going to be about Kafka, but yesterday I made a video about Blade, and on the normal attack I said it doesn't scale off max HP. I was wrong. If I just scroll down a little bit, I can see at about level 4, I'm assuming the level is is shared with the normal attack. For Blade, it's about, like, I think it's like 80% max HP gets converted into attack, so it's really strong. He's looking to be really, really strong all in all. It doesn't change the gripes I had, so I'm not going to make a video correcting myself. It doesn't change any of the points I had. It doesn't change any of that. Everything's still the exact same. I never cared about his normal attack to begin with. But this just means that his normal attacks will be much stronger, but I think a lot of his talent, or a lot of his power still in his talent. I digress. Anyways, Kafka. I want to talk about my plan for Kafka and my planned Kafka team because I get asked this a bunch, and I already have everything basically ready. There are some improvements I want to make, but I do want to talk about it because I've been kind of saving for it. So this is actually going to be Luca. I know Arlon is kind of just chilling right now, but this is going to be Luca. Kafka is going to have like the first team I actually hyper invest in. But this will be for Luca. For Luca, I have Good Night Sleep Well. And then as for the relics go, I have 2-piece Champion of Streetwise Boxing and 2-piece Musketeer of the Wild Wheat. Now the Musketeer of the Wild Wheat, I do want to try to swap this for a 5-star attack piece. I'm hoping I get one through weeklies because he just needs attack. Like you'll see, I have attack, speed, attack, attack, because he really just wants attack to increase that cap of the bleed procs. There's a little bit of, I'm pretty sure physical damage is going to apply to the bleed damage. We'll see. But because of Kafka being able to go ahead and trigger the DOT pop, he can trigger the DOT pop himself. I want to just give him speed so he can apply bleed more often and pop the bleed himself with his enhanced, I think it's his enhanced basic that does it, but he can trigger the bleed himself and Kafka can pop it as well. So this is kind of the setup I'm wanting to go. I'm probably going to run this on Luca. I don't see this changing too much. There's some changes I want to make, but it's mostly just a Sampo. So next, because we already covered Luca, my team's going to be Luca, Kafka, Sampo. So next, we're going to go over to Sampo. Sampo is going to be running, right now, 4-piece break effect. I know I made that video saying don't go break effect Sampo, but I was wrong because I didn't know what Luca did. I thought you were going to need Sampo to actually contribute a ton of the damage, but you really don't. You need Sampo to just break and break constantly. And because he's going to break constantly, break effect ends up being pretty damn good on him. I thought I was going to use another unit as a breaker, but no, we're going to be using Sampo as a breaker. Sampo is going to be the primary breaker for basically any enemy, so we basically got to hope they all have wind weakness. But Sampo is going to be really good. Now, the only thing in this build I want to change, right now I have him on attack boots, and I have him on HP chest piece. I like the substats of these, but what I'm really wanting is the new 2-piece attack set. The new 2-piece set, or the new 2-piece speed set, excuse me. The new set, 2-piece, it comes with speed. I want to put speed boots on him with 2-piece of the speed so he goes faster than anybody else. So he has the most speed on the team, so he goes faster, so he can apply his own DOT more, so he can do breaks more often, and that's kind of the goal behind him. Other than that, it's just wind damage boost, Sprightly Von Whack. Sprightly Von Whack you'll see a lot. I love Sprightly Von Whack because it makes them go so much faster, or makes them take first advantage. Even in later MOC floors, you'll go first if you have Sprightly Von Whack. And then break effect on the rope, of course, because we're going to be stacking the hell out of break effect, trying to push break effect all the way. So that is Sampo. Break effect Sampo. I think I went over Luca's rope and stuff, right? Yeah, I did. It's just all attack. It's all attack, and Sprightly Von Whack on him also, because like I said, I really like Sprightly Von Whack. So next, we have Kafka herself. This is my Kafka setup. This is everything I have set up for Kafka. We have 4-piece lightning, and I think this is going to be really good for her because it increases her attack, increases lightning damage. It's going to be pretty good in the space ceiling station because we don't want the speed on her. We want to make sure she goes last in the turn order. So we just want to make sure that she's always proccing DOTs. We want to make sure there's DOT applied on the enemy using Sprightly Von Whack before anything else, and then we're going to go ahead and pop it with Kafka herself. So now we get into the actual pieces. Obviously, speed boots. Speed is the most important stat in the game. Attack chest piece. Attack chest piece is going to be really good because, once again, these units don't want crit rate. They don't want crit damage. They just want attack. You want to stack the hell out of attack so you have a much higher DOT proc, and with her multiplier on her ultimate, for her ultimate DOT and how easy it is to actually apply that shock DOT, she's going to be absolutely insane. So you want to try to apply as much of that DOT as possible with a very high attack number. So then we have attack here. I'm actually going to swap this out. I'm going to use craft in the next patch to go ahead and make a lightning orb, or a lightning damage orb. So we're definitely going to go into lightning damage. That way we have some more scaling damage rather than just raw attack. So we have good damage in that regard. I definitely want that, and then obviously an attack rope also. Because once again, the higher the attack, the higher the DOT application, because she has such a high multiplier on her ultimate's DOT. So that is it. The team is going to be Sampo, Luca, and Kafka. Now I know what you guys are going to ask. You're going to ask about StarRail. I've already went over why StarRail doesn't need, or why Kafka doesn't need StarRail anymore. But essentially, Kafka can go ahead and apply her own shock. StarRail, she does apply shock, and she is good at breaking. But the thing is that Kafka just doesn't need her anymore. Because of the changes they made to Kafka in beta, Kafka can apply her own DOT very frequently, so StarRail's not needed to extend the shock state. She's not needed to do any break because we have Sampo for that. Once again, just not needed. And another one I see a lot of people say is Asta. Asta is a very strong character. She is nuts. She's good for boosting the speed of the entire team and buffing attack and all that, but I'd rather have another character that's very centralized around DOT or DOT buffing. For example, Sampo, he gives a debuff that inflicts 20% more damage on DOT, and then Luca, he applies bleed, and bleed is so damn broken. Bleed is super broken for melting bosses, so I just don't believe Asta is going to be a good fit in the team. I think you're better off just running triple damage essentially and a healer, with Sampo being more centered around breaking. So that's basically my team. This is it. That's what I'm going to run. It's Sampo, Luca, Kafka. I'm going to heavy invest in this team. This is going to be the first team on my account I heavy investment in, because I'm really excited for them. I really want them to be really good, because I'm a big fan of Kafka. I think Kafka's sick. So I'm going to be doing that. Now, one thing about Kafka to note. You'll notice that my team is centered entirely around Kafka and her gimmicks and her mechanics, and that is why I don't recommend summoning for Kafka as a free-to-play unless you're a very big fan and you just want to do it anyways, because Kafka, just like Blade, is extremely greedy. She wants a team centered around her, she wants a team built around her, and if you don't accomplish that, you're not going to get nearly as much value as somebody like me, who is going to put in the resources to go ahead and build an entire team dedicated to just making her work to the best of her abilities. This team also, with it having no Quantum or Imaginary, unless I decide to put Loach on this team, it really has no access to Quantum or Imaginary. It might struggle in MOC depending on the floors, depending on the weaknesses. Sometimes the enemies just aren't weak to any elements other than Quantum or Imaginary. Like, you don't have any shared elements across the two other than that. So that could be an issue I run into with this team. If so, I'll just have to swap somebody out and put something like Silverwolf in to go ahead and trigger Break as Quantum, or somebody like Yukong to trigger Break as Imaginary. It all depends. I would have to, if I had to swap somebody out, I'd probably swap Sampo out because he's the breaker. So if I had to bring in another elemental breaker, it's probably going to be in place of Sampo. So that's one issue I can potentially see running into with this team. But other than that, I'm really excited to run this team. I'm really excited for Kafka. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching as always. I can't wait for Blade. I can't wait for Kafka. 1.2 is going to be such a damn banger. All the events look good. Oh man, I'm so hyped. It's about a week away. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.